Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Kurvekut. It's good to have you here again. So I just did this look, which is my laid back glam, and I just wanted to show you guys that you don't have to overdo or do too much to look really nice. Like for me, I struggle a lot with eyeshadow. Like with eyeshadow, I'm learning techniques these days, and I've actually managed to achieve this. But I struggle a lot with eyeshadow. Like when it comes to eyeshadow, I used to stick to two shades only, and I'm done. But now I'm learning to put more into it, and I learned this look, and I wanted to redo it for you guys. I have filmed it. You can watch it. I have shown you all the products that I've used, and I'm gonna do a talk through or a voice over a voice over to show you how is it that I achieved this look. But I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you subscribe and like my channel and share it to somebody. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think about my look. And I just wanted to say I'm somebody who likes very little makeup. I don't like to put on too much. I want to put on enough for you to know that I have makeup on, but I want to look at myself and feel like I still look like me, you know. So I like very subtle makeup like this. I don't really like too much unless I'm having a photo shoot or I'm having fun. But this is my look, and if it's the first time that you're here on my channel, I'm just explaining to you so that you know this is me. This is how I like my makeup. I like it to be very down, very subtle. I don't want very obvious contours, very obvious highlighting, even though I've done it. Like you can see that there's highlight, you can see that there's contour, but I just don't want it to be too much. You see what I mean? Yeah, so that's just what I'm about. If you like it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Enjoy the video. Bye guys. So to begin, I'm going to start with my Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser from Maybelline. I'm going to use this to prime. I love the texture of this. It makes my skin very smooth, and I make sure that I apply it everywhere, my ears, my face, my ears, my neck, and my eyes as well, because I feel like it's a really great primer, and I just like the way my foundation glides on when I have this on my face. And I'm very meticulous about my primer, so I literally put it everywhere. For my foundation, I'm going to be using Infallible by L'Oreal. I love this. I love the coverage. I love the color. I love just how it fits on my skin so well. And I'm trying out for the first time the number S19 Total Buffer from Switch Beauty, which I don't mind at all. It's actually been a very good brush, and well, I like the way it's applying foundation. So I'm making my foundation application video segment a bit longer because I wanted to show you that I make sure that my foundation blends into my skin. I make sure that it perfectly sits there on around my face, around my body, like my ears, my neck and stuff. And really, this is like the most important part of me applying makeup, because I make sure that my foundation sits really well into my skin. So I buffer and blend until I'm completely satisfied, and then I'm going to continue to the next step. So until this is done, I really don't continue. And actually, during the week, I can actually leave the house like this, just my eyebrows, my foundation. I just want my foundation to look like my skin, so that's why I blend and blend and blend and blend. So I'll continue blending until I'm satisfied, and then I'm going to move on onto my concealer. And I'm just gonna conceal the parts of my face that have discoloration or that don't have an even tone. And I'm using my NC50 MAC concealer, and I'm putting in just a little bit of bio oil to loosen it up. And then I'm gonna use it under my eyes. I'm gonna use it just below my mouth and on top of my mouth and around my sunburns, because I do have hyperpigmentation from sunburn, and just the areas where I have like little tiny spots. And I'm just gonna conceal that, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna use my foundation brush to blend this in. That's because I want this to sit in with my foundation. I want it to blend together. I don't want to have like whitish spots on my face or like whitish areas on my face. So I'm gonna use my foundation brush to actually buffer this in together with the foundation, so that it looks uniform, it looks like one. And then I'm gonna continue to blend this in until I'm satisfied. Like I said, I always blend my foundation, my concealer, everything well together. It must just make sense, it must work together, it must look like my skin. For me, that's the most important part of my makeup application, is that it must look like my skin. And I'm gonna use the same concealer to actually clean up my eyebrows, because I don't like to use anything lighter, because I feel like it just doesn't come together well or the way I want it to. So using this actually is satisfactory for me. So I am going to use a lighter concealer from LA Girl Pro Conceal. I am using Almond to highlight. So I'm highlighting just to bring dimension to my face. So I'm not using this for concealing. So I'm bringing dimension to my face, and I'm gonna use it just underneath my eyes, and then I'm gonna just wet my beauty sponge or my blending sponge with my MAC Prep and Prime mist. And I just wanted to say, I learned recently not to put my highlighter all the way up to my ear or like wider than this, because it widens my face and it makes me look more chubby. So I learned to just use it only underneath my eyes, like right below my eyes, because then I elongate my face, I make it longer. And I don't use too much of it because I just don't like the way it looks as well. I'm really the girl who is into less is more. Like, that's the motto, less is really more. So I'm gonna continue blending this just below my eyes, and I'm gonna also just use the residue like on top of my eyes, because I'm gonna be applying some eyeshadow today. And I wanted to show you something. I'm gonna be using my Pro Conceal as well, LA Girl. I'm using Espresso to actually contour. You can see that it's not so dark. It's because I actually prefer this. I'd rather my contour is brought out by powder than by the cream, but I do this just so that my powder has something to sit on. And I do this around my nose, around my mouth, my cheek areas, and like just on the side of my forehead, because again I want to elongate my face. So there isn't a big difference in shade between my highlighter and my contour, and you can see here that's my highlighter and that's my contour. I like that difference in shade because it's just, I like the way it looks. I look natural. I don't even know what word to use. I just look really natural, and I really like that. And I prefer that than to use something darker, but there are days when I use something darker. There are days I do that. And then I'm going to set my highlighter with my favorite Black Opal. This is a translucent powder. I have had this for a long time. I love this product. I don't think I'm ever going to switch to anything else. I've tried all the high-end Ben Nye, Sacha, everything, and I love this. And actually mix some of my Sacha with this, because this is just fantastic. It's a really good product, and I'll really suggest it to anybody looking for a good translucent powder that doesn't cost you exuberant amounts of money. I'm gonna use this not to bake really, because I don't consider this baking, but I'm just using it to set. And then I kept it for a while. Yes, it's true, I kept it for a while. But I'm just using it to set my highlight, just where I put some highlighter, and then I'm putting it underneath my contour, because I want this translucent powder to pop out those areas on my cheek. So underneath the contour it's gonna be brighter, and then on top then I'm gonna have some darkness. So that's how I play around with the shades on my face. I'm no makeup artist, but I've really learned some techniques and some tricks on how to play with lighting and stuff on my face. And then I'm gonna use the same translucent powder on my eyes, because again I'm using eyeshadow, and I did put some highlighter there. I'm using a brush from UBU to just blend it all together. And then I like this brush because it gets everywhere on my eyes and it just blends my powders properly. So I'm gonna take MAC Studio Fix in NW43, and I'm gonna use this as the base for my foundation, because this is my skin tone. And I'm gonna be using matte colors or matte eyeshadow, so I feel like this mattifying powder is gonna help not only bring color to my eyes, but to also just keep the matte colors there. I love Switch Beauty palette. This Slay for Days palette has been my favorite, and it's like my go-to every single day. I'm using just one color up from my skin tone. I'm using this into my crease, not really as transition color, but because sometimes when I go straight to my transition color, I feel like my eye looks too light. So I just want to bring a little bit of shadow on my eyelids, just to shadow this. I don't even know how to explain it, because it only makes sense to me. So for my crease, as my transition color, I'm using like a burgundy color from the same Slave for Day palette, and I love this color even on my lips. Like it got to be my favorite color, and then I'm just gonna use it to transition, so it blends very well with like the color I put previously. I'm gonna take the brown, like a deep brown, to use onto the corners of my eyes. So as you can see, my eyeshadow technique is not fantastic, it's not perfect because I'm still learning to use eyeshadow properly, and I wasn't big on eyeshadows before, but now I really like them and I want to try and play around. So I've learned a few techniques, and I'm just using strokes, I'm using I'm using everything just to apply this eyeshadow onto my eyes. And I just like this because it's like my go-to every single day. It's very easy to do. I literally just put it in the corner of my eyes, and then I try not to mess it up. Like I try to have some shape there, you see what I mean? And then I'm just gonna go back and just blend it all together with my transition color, or that burgundy color, until it makes sense. I got this flat brush from Cypria, which is actually not so bad, and I'm gonna use it to pick up a red, like a deeper red than the one I used into my crease, just on top of my lids. And if you want to intensify this color, you just have to use some setting spray just to pick up more of it so that it's more red. But because I wasn't going out and it was during the day, I just thought, you know what, let me be subtle, so I just went ahead and used it in a powder form instead of a pasty form. So I'm just going to continue applying this until I'm satisfied with the color. I'm applying it all over the lid. Well, it looks very pretty. Actually, the camera doesn't do it justice. It looked very, very, very pretty. And I'm gonna take this brush from NYX, and I think that, I don't know what brush this is, but I don't remember. Yeah, God, I'm gonna put it below, and then I'm just gonna use it to blend everything that I've done, just to so that it works. I understand that with eyeshadow, the trick is really to blend, 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 and blend. So I kept blending and blending and blending. I'm gonna do the same to my other eye. And I like how it sits onto the MAC powder. It doesn't move, like it stays right there. I kept looking for things, I kept looking for stuff. Oh my gosh, guys, I think you've noticed that I'm looking somewhere else. It's because I have a huge mirror just on the side of the camera, and I keep looking there and have a smaller one in front of me. So I need to figure out how I can have a mirror in front of me. Oh gosh. So I'm gonna continue blending, and this is the result. It looks pretty, I loved it. I'm gonna take like a goldenish, it's not really gold, it's not that deep, and I'm gonna use it like at the highest point of my eyes, and just to, you know, highlight that part of my brow bone. And then I'm gonna do the same, and I'm gonna blend this again with the first brush I had used, because I feel like if I don't blend it like this, it looks terrible. It looks really bad. So I have this brush from the Bomb Cosmetics that I really like. It's what do you call it? This brush basically just makes you look really snatched, like really, really put together. That's the only way I can explain it. I don't know the name of it, but it does says it's just for blending. So I'm gonna blend out my setting powder, and then yeah, I just love this brush. Why am I running out of things to say? So I'm gonna go on to my eyes again. I'm gonna use my little black primer from Estee Lauder, and I'm just gonna prime my eyeshadow. I want to have like a fake lash kind of effect, and then this is really good because it elongates my eyes. Then I'm gonna use my powder from LA Girl in Cocoa. I love this powder for contouring. It's fantastic, it's amazing. I'm using just a little bit of it, I'm not using a lot of it, and I'm just gonna blend it into my skin. I do have days when I want to look really contoured, and then I do have days when I don't want to look contoured, and then this was one of those days when I didn't want to do too much. I just wanted to be simple. Like, I just wanted to be simple. I didn't want to look too much, and it wasn't for the gram. I was actually going out, so I needed to do this for going out and seeing people. People don't want to see like lines, like, you know, like real lines on your face. So I'm just gonna continue doing this with this Switch Beauty brush, and then now I'm going into my Real Techniques powder brush, and I'm going back into my NW43 from MAC Studio Fix just to set now my foundation and my entire face. And I don't worry because it doesn't take away anything, it just mattifies my face and makes the oil behave, makes the oil stay. Okay ladies, now let's get information. Yeah, gets my oil to be in formation. So I'm just gonna apply this everywhere. And then I'm gonna use my Spice palette from LA Girl. This is a blush collection. It's got blush, it's got bronzer, it's got highlight, it's got everything. So I'm gonna take my bronzer just to brighten a bit the contour, because off camera it looked really dark and this bronzer wasn't dark. So I'm gonna use that fantastic brush again to blend this into my skin. And guys, just look at that. Look at the results. Look at that. It looks splendid. It looks splendid. So I'm gonna keep, why am I being so silly today? I'm gonna keep blending until I'm satisfied. I kept looking at myself like, girl, you look good. I'm gonna use my MAC pencil in chestnut to line my lips again, just to bring dimensions to my lips so that I don't look hungry. And then I'm going to line my lips lightly. Guys, I haven't eaten. I'm actually hungry now. And then I'm gonna just dab this because I don't want it to be too harsh before I put on my lip gloss from this is a creme sheen glass from MAC. And then it doesn't have a color. Wait, it says Delight. So I'm gonna use Delight on my lips as a lip gloss, and I didn't want to put on lipstick because I wasn't in the mood. It's a lot of MAC products today. Hey, why was that? So I'm gonna go in with my MAC Bold and Bad Lash. I love this stuff. It makes my lashes look so bad. Like, ooh, cat meow. It makes my lashes look really good. Oh my gosh, somebody needs to come in and discipline me so that I can behave. So I'm gonna keep applying this onto my lashes. And guys, look at my lashes. They look so snatched. Like, oh, I love this. And the combination is just amazing. So I brush my eyebrows again because I always feel like my foundation gets into it. So I just brush it back into life. And I'm gonna use the highlighter in the blush collection again from LA Girl. And guys, please don't sleep on this. It's amazing. Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing, guys. If you can get this palette, get it. But I love it. I love all the stuff in it. And then I'm gonna highlight. Can you see you see how I'm highlighting lightly? I'm not leaving like big amounts of highlighting. I don't want to turn people blind in the room, you know. I just want to highlight my face. And this fan brush was actually a gift, and I'm just gonna keep highlighting. Ooh. And I'm gonna set all this that I've done, all the snatching I've done, with my Superstay 24 from Maybelline, which is like my favorite, and I drenched myself in it, and I've only just realized that it makes me white. So guys, this is the snatched look. I hope you like it. I hope you try it. And then, you know, subscribe to my channel. That's just what I'm asking for. Subscribe, like, and share. Thanks guys, and see you soon.